welcome to this week's edition of the Pete Mezzetti Show. I'm Pete Mezzetti. My guest this evening is Chris Aniskovich, who is Chairman of the Town Council for the Town of Clinton. Mr.
Here.
Chairman.
Peter.
Hi, buddy.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Doing good.
What's new?
Lots new in town.
Lots.
I guess the biggest one is the town manager. So
okay.
We actually signed the town manager, Carl Kilduff, to a new 3-year contract, and there was a process of about a month where we did some, he came to us with the idea that he would like to stay on, and then obviously we as a council spoke about it and unanimously agreed that we should keep him on board because he's done a great job. And
right.
First-time town manager, you want to make sure that he stays on. Because it would probably be a little bit more difficult to hire a new one after 3 years, especially when it's new. So he was our first, and it's worked well. I think he's done a lot of good things for the town, and put the town in the right direction so that going forward everything should be, I say smooth sailing, but that never happens.
No, of course not.
But I'll say it, smooth sailing.
There you go.
Okay.
Say it.
And so that's done. That's over with. So that's a great relief for the council, because, like I said, if we had to do that process again, you're starting, ground floor again, and you're going out with a headhunter trying to find a new person.
Yep.
And in this marketplace, really didn't know how many people would be available. So glad that's over with, and everybody's happy. And like I said, it was a unanimous decision on behalf of the council, and he's happy, and we're happy, and we're great. So we're in good shape there.
And I see Starbucks opened.
Oh,
amen.
Yes. Well, and again, the same things. I mean, there's some issues, obviously, with staffing, so that kind of delayed things a little bit, but now they are open. Everything's good. And then still working on the other building over there at Indian River Shops, where Madison Furniture Barn will go in. Mm-hmm. There's still some space left there. And then other than that, there hasn't really been much talk about kind of what's going in next. So I guess he's still talking to people, but there's no firm tenants coming in yet. So that'll continue. But obviously, so far so good. It looks good. And eateries is basically what he's trying to do. We've been told. So hopefully, that'll come to fruition, and we can get some more places to eat along that that front spot there, which would be helpful to both sides, both to his project and to Clinton Crossing.
Nice.
And then what else? We have the old Friendly's building, which is next to the old Cashman, which is now Van Wilgen's. So that is permitted for a Italian steakhouse.
Okay.
So those are I believe the owners of the Haywire.
Sure.
Were the ones that purchased that building. So they have a permit in place to start working on that, and so they'll be going forward with that. And then what else? Pearson School. So this next week, Town Council is going to get together for a workshop, and we'll start talking about Pearson School. What do we do with Pearson School? So
what do you think we could do with Pearson
I have no
School?
clue, and I'm not even going to say anything about Pearson School.
All right.
So there's no big announcements. Okay. So we've done some studies. There was a structural integrity study that was done that the council did. We took some money so that could be done. There was talk about the library moves. We wanted to make sure that we kind of handled and did some legwork as far as what can and can't go there.
Right.
So that study's been done. So we'll have that in place, and we can discuss that. And then the further conversations about just if we keep it. I mean, obviously there's two decisions to make, or one decision to make, two options: keep it or sell it.
Right.
So as a town, we need to make sure that obviously, we make a fiscally responsible decision as well. Mm-hmm. So if we keep it, there's going to be costs associated with the renovations to the building. And it's a lot. It's an older building, hasn't been updated, needs a roof, needs to be ADA compliant.
Yep.
I'm assuming there'll be some asbestos in the basement.
Probably.
So there's, a lot of those things that will come into play when we make that decision. So the council's agreed to, start the discussions, have some conversations about it. And we'll, go to a public hearing, and then Carl will bring, the town manager will bring us kind of estimates as far as what everything would cost. Discussions that people have had in the past have always talked about senior center, community center, library. There's all these, things that go on with discussions that relate to that, but we have to make sure, kind of as a town, that we're in a position to be able to do that and be able to afford to do that going forward. Because if you put it in place, then there's the, ongoing annual cost of operation to a senior center, to a community center, or whatever else may be there. So hopefully the information that we provide to the public will have them understanding, give them a better idea of kind of where it's going to lead us. Because again, there's a tax consequence to all this as well. Right. If we keep it, our taxes will go up because there'll be some cost associated with maintaining that building.
Right.
If we sell it, then it goes on our tax base. But people in our town are very passionate about it. It's a sort of a historic building in town. The facade of the building is beautiful, and and so we'll have to make some decisions on that and make sure we get the people or the public engaged in those conversations.
Now, from what I understand, we've got a charter revision committee.
Charter revision is been set up. It's in place. They have a charge that the council went through and kind of went through the charter, and there were some things that we wanted to tweak on it.
Okay.
So the council put together a charge, and then we formed the commission, and now they're in place and they're meeting. So, hopefully in the next few months we'll have some decisions on kind of that. And again, same process. They'll meet, they'll discuss it, we'll go to a public hearing, and then at that point it'll come back to the council, and if there's things that, additional things that we may want to do on the council side, we can bring forth at that point. But it's good. It has to be done within 5 years of your previous one. So statutorily that's how it works. And we felt sooner rather than later on some of these things that they were not major changes. So I think at this point we're just doing the smaller things that, that we can correct, and hopefully will help some areas in town.
And obviously, sooner rather than later, everybody's getting ready to go back to school.
Everybody's going back to school, so that'll be up and running again. So it's going to be, it'll be a hectic, few weeks in town and getting everything back together, and hopefully, year 3, I guess, of COVID.
Yep.
But hopefully all that stuff will be going away, and these kids can just get back to school, normal school week, normal school year, and just not have to worry about the masks and online, not online. So hopefully, knock on wood, that'll be done, and we can just continue on, and doing what a normal school year would do.
Absolutely. What else is going on in town?
Oh boy.
Train station?
Train station's done. That's been done for a while, so that's done. We could talk about the apartments behind the train station. So the old
Unilever building.
Yep. So the apartments are in process of being renovated now. So he has the brick facade is going on the outside of the building.
Okay.
So those apartments will be ready to go beginning of 2023.
Okay.
And it's a beautiful building. I was able to get a walk through the building, and when you walk in, it's not like your typical apartment building where there's typical boxes of apartments. You walk in and they're lengthwise of the building. So it's a very, very attractive building, and I think it's going to look great once it's completed. So that'll benefit obviously that area as well. And as far as the bigger Unilever building, we were told that hopefully there'll be some movement on that very soon. So possibly a site plan that's going to go in front of planning and zoning. So I don't know if they're on the agenda yet, but we've heard that he possibly is putting together a final site plan for that development, and hopefully that'll start going forward as well.
Now, who is he?
He would be Michael Massimino, which is the developer, the owner of the building. So he's been in touch with the town, I know, with land use and planning and zoning, kind of just talking about maybe some ideas that he has. But it's important for us as a town to get the site plan done, because then that leads to other things that we can help with.
Absolutely. Now, as far as let's go back to Pearson School for a second. If they do something with Pearson School, what happens to the gazebo in front of?
That's what everybody wants to know.
Yeah.
So it's a funky, obviously lot. So there's an easement for the church that they have so that they can get to the back of the church.
Gotcha.
The food for all, I guess, is in the back.
Food for all,
Yep, is in the back, so they have access to that. And the gazebo itself, that's something that we can talk about and work with.
Okay.
It could be something that if we get rid of the building, would be the only issue. So if we do get rid of it, can you talk to a developer that say, hey, listen, can we carve out a piece so that we can kind of maintain that gazebo, because it is a big part of our town.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's used for a lot of things, concerts and such, and so it's it's an important part. We're still having those the summer concerts, so the chamber's going to start doing those in the fall again, so those will be back again.
Okay.
So those kind of things are important for the town, to get people out and to get people back to a normal life, post-COVID. So hopefully that'll be something we could discuss if we go down the path of selling the building. So we're still in the process of getting everything else worked out as well, because of the underlying deed restrictions on the building. We still don't have the final sign-off by the Attorney General's office.
Oh, okay.
So that's something else that we wanted to take care of, so that there was no restrictions once we decided what to do.
Right.
Everything would be in place that we could move forward, whether we keep it or sell it.
So the Chamber of Commerce is going to do the concerts in the fall again this year?
That's what I've been told, yes.
Oh, good.
Yep. So, and again, they've been great. I mean,
Yeah,
obviously,
absolutely.
the things that they've done through COVID and post-COVID have been wonderful.
Yeah.
They do a business after hours. They do a business before hours. It's good to get the community out, get these businesses out. And then the other thing is obviously that they help with is in 2 weeks we have the Summerfest and fireworks.
That's right.
Yeah. So August 27th. That starts all-day event. Obviously, behind Town Hall, there's a lot of things.
Yep.
There'll be a dunk tank, apparently. And I'll be attending the dunk tank again, as I did the first year.
Oh, good.
Oh, yes. No, not good, but okay.
Sure it is.
So, but it's good. I mean, that's a huge event for the town. Brings out a lot of people, not only from Clinton, but from all over. So we're looking forward to that on the 27th.
Absolutely. And before we go into the break, for the concerts on the green, that means you get Peter and I and Pete Mezzetti in the same place together. What's the worst that could happen?
Well, we don't want to talk about that, do we?
No?
Not on camera.
No,
but
definitely
yes.
not.
So it's great. I mean, those things are great. Again.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Would you want to stick it around for another segment?
Sure.
We'll be right back.
Roofing scams become more common this time of year. Better Business Bureau Scam Tracker is receiving reports of shady free roof inspections. Homeowners should be on the lookout for these cons. The person may claim that their company is working on a neighbor's home and is offering inspections to those living nearby. If they don't find enough wear and tear to merit a whole new roof, they may fabricate it by tearing off shingles to mimic wind damage, or they may simply show you pictures of someone else's damaged roof. Beware of unsolicited offers, especially after a storm. Get your insurance company to inspect your roof to verify the need for repairs or replacements. Ask for references and check out their work yourself. There are 1,200 BBB accredited roofers in Connecticut. Find the right one by going to bbb.org to look at a company's business rating. There you can check for a pattern of complaints and read reviews, and also share your experiences by writing a review yourself to help others in their search.
Welcome back to this week's edition of the Pete Mezzetti Show. I'm Pete Mezzetti, sitting here with Chris Aniskovich, who is chairman of the town council for the town of Clinton, but also, welcome back, Chris.
Thank you, Peter.
Thank you. Chris is also running for state representative.
I am.
You am. That's what I hear.
I'm in.
Tell me about it.
Yep. So 35th district.
Yeah. Obviously,
which encompasses Clinton, Killingworth, and Westbrook.
There you go.
So I was approached, previously about running for the position, and it was just, the last time it really wasn't the time. We were changing our form of government. I wanted to concentrate on that. So this time around again, I felt that it was time that that I could do something. So obviously, made the jumped in, and decided that it's an extension of what I do in Clinton, and that's how I'm looking at it. Council stuff, being part of the town council, working obviously with different parties amongst the council members. My platform has always been I just want to work with everybody. What we're doing, we're working for the community. We may be elected officials. We may be elected under a certain political affiliation, but the bottom line is we represent the people. We represent the citizens of Clinton, and our job on the council is to do what's best for the people of Clinton.
Absolutely.
And as I run for state rep, should I be elected, I will do the same thing. So it's been good. I've enjoyed what I've done so far. I've been out and about, and getting to know the people of the towns. Been out in Killingworth a lot. A lot of events up there that I've been to, and around town in Clinton. Got some stuff coming up in Westbrook this week, and then on an ongoing basis we'll do more. So it's exciting, and I'm happy about getting in and making the run.
Absolutely. Now, what's your platform?
Well, like with anybody, you talk about Connecticut, you talk about affordability.
Right.
So, what are we going to do to make Connecticut a more affordable state to live in? And I look at it as, not just for me, but for my children and my grandchildren.
Right.
Because as we go forward, that's what we have to do. And, fiscally responsible, control spending, control the taxes. Those are things that we talk about, but, you really have to sit down and have that conversation and have it be a meaningful conversation. And, that's what I'll fight to do, and that's what I'll work hard to do. Other than that, I'm very big on local control. I think the towns know better than the state does in where they live. So Clinton, Killingworth, and Westbrook, who would know better than the people of that town?
Right.
So within that town, you get to know those people. You get to know who the selectmen are, who the board of everybody involved in that town.
Yep.
And find out, what are your struggles? What do you struggle with? What do you need? What do you want? And that's why for me personally it's all about local control, from the zoning aspect of it, where the state shouldn't be coming in and telling the town what to do and how they should be handling zoning, because people in our town, I think, would know better about the struggles that we would have. We've had to put together a housing plan for the state as a town in Clinton, and the struggle's been can we really do anything about it? Because we have density issues, we don't have sewers in Clinton. So the issue becomes, can we build these buildings that they want us to build and, fit them in where they need to fit? So I think it's important that the local control stays there, because you got the state coming in and they're, putting some overlays on you, then what's the purpose of our Planning and Zoning Commission?
Right.
If they can't have a say, because then that way the people, how can the people not have a say? So that, exempts the public hearings, so that there's no public hearings. So, a lot of those things have to be worked out, and I think, those are healthy conversations that you have. It's the same way with the education. I think parents should be involved in what goes on. They should have a say in, what their children are being taught in those schools. The teachers do a wonderful job. They work hard. The administrators, but everybody's got to work together.
Right.
They got to know that they're all working for, the benefit of the children. So that's ultimately, again, that ultimate decision is based upon, what's in the best interest of the children. Excuse me, and all the children.
Right.
So that's sort of my platform. I'm obviously pro-community, as you know.
Right.
Love the town I live in. I support everything that goes on in our town.
Absolutely.
Because that's what you need to do.
Absolutely.
I mean, you have to get people, if you get people involved in your community, then they're going to want to help. And that's the most important thing, is getting people to help and come out and do the things that, would enhance the beauty of your community. Right. So it's going to be the same thing as I go to the state and, and have that, couple of additional towns, obviously in the district, and looking to find out what they want, what they struggle with, what things that they need, what can the state do for them without, kind of going over and above.
Right.
And then that's kind of the platform that I'm working on. That's what I got.
That's
what I got. So you just got to get the message out. You want to be able to, make sure that people understand, that you're there for them. You get, like I said, you're elected under a political affiliation, but that doesn't mean, that drives everything and every decision you make.
Right.
I consider myself a common sense thinker, somebody that's going to do what's in the best interest of the towns,
right,
not in the best interest of me or my party all the time. So you have to, it's a fine line.
Yeah.
You have to be sometimes a center of the road person in order to get something accomplished. And that's how you have to, to look at things.
Right.
So that's, I think, what I've done in Clinton for the past 3 years, and that's what I'll continue to do as I go forward. I'll continue on in the council, so I'm excited about that. That's still something that I can do, and I want to continue on. But I want to make a shot and see if we can get up to Hartford and make some changes. Do what's best for the district as well as our community itself.
Absolutely, absolutely, and it's a small district, but it's a very populated district.
Yeah, I mean,
especially
the district
all three towns.
Right, so it's not a huge district, so it's negotiable for me to do that. I mean, obviously, I also own a business in town.
Right.
So you have to maintain and be able to do all that, and that's the struggle with politics overall. When some people want to be involved, but it's not a full-time job, so you still have to have another job.
Exactly.
But technically, it is a full job because you'll be doing things year round.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm okay with that. I understand that, and luckily, with what I do for work, it gives me the time, to handle those things.
Exactly.
So that's what you have to do. You got to be visible. You got to be part of it, and you want to be there.
Right. How's the campaign going? Going okay so far?
So far, so good. Yep. So I'm participating in the Citizens Election Fund,
okay,
which is when you can get a grant from the state in order to help fund your campaign.
Right.
So I was on the agenda for that for last Wednesday. Needed to make some corrections to my donor list, which we've done, and we were notified Monday that that will be put forth for approval on this coming Wednesday. So that'll be hopefully taken care of, and then we'll get those additional funds, because that's kind of what you need in order to run a campaign.
Yep.
So you can either self-fund. I'm not a millionaire, so
nope,
I'm not self-funding, or you can get to these thresholds. So you needed 150 in-district donors,
yep,
and an aggregate of $5,800.
Okay.
So once you meet those thresholds, then you can apply. So obviously that was something that you have to do in order to run a successful campaign, because there's a lot of things that as you go forward, whether it's the signage, whether it's the palm cards, whether it's T-shirts, it's
Yep.
the mailers, it's all of those other things that you have to put together to make it a successful campaign.
Right.
And that's what you have to do. And if you got to go, you're going to go all in and make
Absolutely.
sure you're doing all you can in order to make sure that you're giving it the best run you can.
Because obviously, you know as well as I do, campaigns are not cheap.
They're not cheap.
No.
And they're hard work.
Oh, yeah.
So, and it's hard. It's hard on everybody. Like my family and my kids and everybody else. It's it's difficult. And those were the first people that I talked to. Obviously, when I decided to make the run, is making sure that they were all in, knowing what it's going to entail. My daughter's off to high school,
Right.
going to Sacred Heart Academy in the fall. Actually, 2 weeks. Those are the things that you also have to think about because it's
Right.
important. You have to make sure. Listen, if you go up to Hartford, you're going to be up there February to May or February to June.
Yep.
It takes a lot of your time.
It does.
But you have to be committed to do it. And, I'm definitely 100% committed to this, looking forward to it, and, looking forward to getting up there
No,
and learning. That's the other thing. And, getting out and, as far as the campaign goes, it's about listening.
Right.
You go out there and, you talk to people and you listen to what they have to say. You listen to their concerns and their struggles. And, every town has something different. We have, similar, populations in these towns, but at the end of the day, we all have different concerns.
Right.
Each town has a different concern.
Right.
So
And from what I understand, your brother was in politics.
he was a state senator for 12 years.
That's right. And
Yep.
I knew that.
Thank you.
I
Yes.
did.
But it's gone a long time ago.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
he's been out of
Absolutely.
it for a long time. So, and that's, it's, so you're kind of aware of it.
Yeah.
I'm not going into this, blindly knowing that it's going to be all, it's all going to be rosy. There's going to be some struggles. There's going to be issues. There's going to be people that are going to struggle with decisions that I make.
Right.
And they're not going to agree with me. But you have to be able to understand that that's part of it. I'm not going to make a decision that everybody's going to agree to every time. There's
No.
going to be people in your own party that are going to struggle with decisions you make.
Absolutely.
But ultimately, for me, and the way I've always been, and I'll continue to be, is at the end of the day, it's not about me.
No.
It's about the district. It's about the people in the district and the people you represent.
Absolutely.
So whether you're, whatever political affiliation you are, it means nothing to me. It's a matter of making sure you can get people together and have a conversation and make sure that you're all fighting for the same thing.
Absolutely.
That's my campaign thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Now, if I didn't know you and I said to you, introduce yourself to me, you said, I'm running for state representative in the 35th district.
Yep.
I identified myself as a constituent. We didn't know each other. And I said to you, Chris, why should I support you? What would you tell me?
I would tell you because I'll support you.
Okay.
Bottom line. I'm asking for people's support, but I'm also asking them to understand that their support is going to be also what I'm going to give back to them.
Right.
Okay, I'll be there to support them. I'll be there, I'll be visible. I'll be involved. I'll be part of, what they're trying to do. And that's the job, I believe, of a state rep.
Right.
You're there to represent the district. You have to be visible within that district. And you got to be available. People call, they're going to call. They're going to call, they're going to email. You need to get back to those people.
Right.
One of the things that I can pride myself on is when people call me as far as the council stuff goes, you'll always get a phone call back. You'll always get an email back. You'll never will not get a no answer, or we're not going to hear from you.
Right.
So that's important to me, is to make sure that they know, you have a job to do the job. And that's how I look at it. So, what I can tell people is you won't be disappointed with the job that I'll do for you.
Absolutely. And if people want more information on the campaign, I understand there's a website.
The website is
Where are we going?
Aniskovich2022.com.
Okay.
And then my email address is aniskovich2022@gmail.com.
And what types of information can people find on the website?
Everything. My platform, ways to contact me, ways to get involved, because we always look for people to get involved and help out in the campaign. So if people are interested in doing that, they also can sign up through there. But the website has my whole platform on all the different items and topics that concern me and that I want to bring forth when I'm heading up to Hartford.
Pick a topic.
Pick a topic now?
Yeah.
On what? Anything?
Because we got time left.
We got time left, so
Go.
pick a topic. Let's pick baseball.
Okay.
I'm a Yankee fan, so I'm struggling now. Okay.
I'm a Baltimore fan. What do I know?
Actually, see, but you're doing better. See, you're not in the last place anymore. The Red Sox are, so I don't want to say anything about that.
Right.
But so I'll just say that, as a Yankee fan, I'm starting to struggle a little bit. But Baltimore, you guys should be happy.
Yeah.
You're almost in the
absolutely.
playoffs now.
I'm soon.
And why are you a Baltimore fan? Let's start there. How'd that happen?
That actually happened. Remember Paul Austin? Paul was the first selectman in Clinton.
Oh my God, that many years ago.
That many years ago.
Yeah.
Paul actually, when he moved from Connecticut, took a job in Baltimore, and every summer I would go see him in Baltimore. Now,
you get good tickets down there because.
Oh, absolutely. And now he's actually the executive director for the Conservation League of Voters in Minnesota.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Gets around.
Oh yes, he does. Matter of fact, he's about 15 minutes from my brother.
There you go.
In Minnesota.
It's all coming full circle.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. We got about a little bit more time left, so if people want more information on the campaign, where are they going?
They're going Aniskovich2022.com, which is my website. Aniskovich2022@gmail is my email account. Feel free if anybody has any questions about kind of what my platform is, want to know how I stand on any topics, feel free. I'll be more than happy to call you back and talk.
Chris Aniskovich, thanks for some time. We'll see you soon.
Thank you, Peter.
You got it. On behalf of Chris Aniskovich, I'm Pete Mezzetti. Thanks and good night. We'll see you next week.